You know, we're back. Content creation. We're here to talk. We only talk to the ones that are elevating their game day by day, night by night. King Diaz, welcome to the Mitchell Report Unleashed podcast.
Hey, thank you for having me here. It's an honor, man. I love what you're doing, and I really admire what's going on.
Yeah, and I do appreciate that. And I see what you're doing too, man. You're doing some powerful things in the video game community. You know what I mean? This editing, the videos, UFC. Let's talk about it, bro. Why did you even choose to be a content creator? Is my question.
Holy man, it started on 2020. I have always been looking for something to do. Since I was a little kid, I have always been looking for something and something. And I have tried many things, and content creation was the thing for me. You know, um, I started creating blogs, food content, um, story time content, but nothing was really clicking until, I started doing gaming at the end, one of my passions, and boom, it just took off from there, quote unquote. But, it's a long story.
No, and I think that's the most important thing. It is a long story, and I think a lot of content creators, when we were in that pandemic, decided to say to themselves, "Let's look inward. Let's find something that can appeal for themselves, and then turn it
Yeah.
into a business, and then turn it into a flipping community." So hats off to you with that. You know what I mean?
There you go. Yeah, man. Honestly, it's been a long road. 2020, I used to have a regular job. Um, so I started creating content on and off, obviously. I took many breaks. Like I'm talking about 6 months break, even up to a year. Worst mistake I ever made, by the way. Worst mistake, because now looking at it back, I wish I never took those break because I would have made it sooner. You know what I'm saying? But taking breaks sometimes is good to, you know, for you to go back to the drawing board and, see what's really going on with you and your life and just in general. You know what I mean?
Love that you say that.
Um,
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I know. I love that you say that because it's something that's needed. You know, in podcasting, 7 years of doing this, I've taken maybe three breaks, no more than
Okay.
about 2 weeks. And I know a lot of people are like, well, 2 week break. I'm not talking about month break or 3 month break or 4 month break because you have to know your audience, right? So I
Yeah,
really, really want to hit that because if you have the momentum and you break the momentum, it tells me one of two things. Either A, you have something that's going on in your mind in life. Life happens to all of us. Could be, I don't want to get too morbid here, but
yeah,
could be a passing of a loved one. It happens, right?
yeah.
So you got to readjust what's going on. But sometimes when you take these long breaks that are like 4 to 6 to 8 months, I always reflect and I say, is I don't think you have the content to put out. That's kind of my perspective, and that's not a diss. It's just the reality of the mind because you have to really look at your margin of who's following you, who's your community, who's your fans. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Um, I mean, when I took my break on 2020, I literally had no audience. I had less than 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. I had no TikTok at the time. So it was just basically taking a break for no reason. It was just like I was not getting the results that I wanted right away. Cause at first we all want everything quick, quick, and it don't work like that. And if you're not ready to put in the work, you're not gonna get anywhere and you're just going to get frustrated like I did. But that's just what happened. I had to take a break and really, get back to the drawing board and really ask myself the question, why am I doing this? Why do I want to keep doing this? If it's for the money, might as well just stop now because I ain't gonna see a goddamn dollar anytime soon. I gotta do this out of passion, out of love. You know what I'm saying? Love for the game, love for everything that I do.
Prior going into this conversation, King, yes, I was upstairs. I came out the shower, and I was like, "What's the magnitude of this conversation gonna look like?" And for me, it's like, what are we doing it for? And I think a lot of the people that are around us that look that on Instagram or social media see what we're doing, see what we're up to, but they may not understand it because for them it's like I'm comfortable doing what it is I'm doing. Could be working at 9 to 5, which is nothing wrong with that, but there has to be a next evolution of that 9 to 5. Are you wanting to be an assistant manager, a store manager, or a regional manager? Let's just talk to my retail folks. If you're in construction, do you want to be the laborer to the when you're the foreman to where you're the person that's sitting behind, you're cutting the checks, and then you have your workers underneath you? There has to be elevation and evolution to this game, and a lot of people don't understand that. And when the ones that I see that are out there, like last night, just for instance, I was out and a gentleman came up to me. He's like, "Bro, your content's on point." Till the day the man said to me, he goes, "Yo, we're in a group chat and we reshare your stuff in our group chat." I go, "Excuse me? That's what y'all doing?" And I felt this way, and I'm always like to people, love, peace, and prosperity, because I don't do this for the money or the views. I do this because I always want to empower people to become better. You know what I mean? And
Absolutely.
there's some things I could let out of the bag, but over time I will, because there's some developments that are happening with other content creators that I'm actually help mentoring. And a lot of people miss that. You know what I mean? And then when they see it, they're like, "Oh wait, Rory did that, or King Diaz is featured with this person." Like, people don't get this game. It's a game of X and O's, but you got to know who you are as a person. And if you don't know who you are, that's when you run into a lot of problems. Well, back to you, my man.
No, that is absolutely true, man. And now that you say that, man, when I used to have my last job, I used to work at a warehouse. I remember being back there hating my life, bro. Like no funny shit, bro. Um I remember going every day feeling like a zombie, feeling soulless. It was just not a good experience. It got to the point where I'm not even gonna lie to you. I used to go home every day that I had to work. I would take VTO, personal time off, and not get paid at all. Man, fuck the bills. I just didn't want to be there. You know what I'm saying? It got to that point. And once I noticed that once I started talking to people and I started like kind of like telling people what my future plans were, doors started closing on the company for me. That was really weird. It was like the bosses didn't want me to move up, even when I was qualified to move up. I was running everything on my department, but somehow, some way, I couldn't move up. Doors started closing, doors started shutting down, and it was a really bad experience. I'm just glad I got fired out of there. You know, my department got let go. When was it? Like it's been a year now. A year now that my whole department got let go because we were overstaffed. Best thing that ever happened to me. Because after that, I became a full time content creator.
There's a lot that's there, and like, we have a mutual I game you watch. That brother is just he's so he's so polarizing.
No,
You know what I
he
mean?
is.
From the time of I've watched him on TikTok to now Instagram and seeing what he's doing and have a magnitude of conversations with him. And I know you guys, engage and you guys network with each other and stuff like that. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, man, people are so misunderstood in this space. I'm misunderstood because I
We
talk
all
about
are.
a plethora of different things, right? I think as a podcaster, though, our message can get confused in the alignment of our delivery because we have to be always looking at how are people going to reflect. There
Yeah.
was some stuff that happened with the last guest in my comments. I could reshare it if I really wanted to, but people go to the last post and we were talking about mental health. And I had two individuals come for not only me, but for her. This is my brand. So I had to know how to simply sit here and navigate because a lot of people, they like to, what's the word? Um, they like to reflect inward and then deliver how they're feeling at that time because they hear a message. So it sparks that, oh, I'm going to try to go at them. And I'll tell people, if you're a content creator, you're going to get that good or bad. You got to take the good and the bad with it. Like for you, you do the UFC videos. You may do something where it's like, I've watched some of your content where you're doing like I'm not going to throw any strikes.
Yeah.
People will probably in the comments be like, yo, who is this guy? Who does he think he is? You know what I mean? But it's like, I'm showing you guys a different elevation to the game. So y'all are going to love me or you're gonna hate me, but all you're doing is you're just boosting the traffic and the revenue and the views. You know what I mean?
Hey, facts. That's facts. A lot of people are like, oh, I will be embarrassed to post this. Your opponent was trash. Bro, it's content at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? And how I look at it is when you're doing content creation and you are a content creator, you want to have a balance in your comment section. You don't want a full positive comment section because that means either two things. Your friends are, are the only ones watching you or people that you know. That's it. You want to have that balance with good and bad on your comment section as a content creator. You're just gonna have to deal with it. Learn how to deal with it. Just don't pay attention to the negativity, and uh, and if you're gonna use it to fuel yourself.
For sure.
Simple and short.
We talk about content creation. You're a content creator. I'm a content creator. You know what I mean? And I think one of the things I really want to tap into is the pros and cons that come with content creation. And I really want to lead off with this is that a lot of people look at the content and they may be listening to you or listening to I and they're like, "Oh, okay, how do I start? What's my niche?" I personally don't believe as a podcaster having a niche. I see where it's important to have a niche. Yes, but you suppress yourself in a way because there's certain things you can't really talk about. Me, I can talk about almost anything and
Yeah.
be fine. You know what I mean? That's about range. What is the number one thing? Not even we won't want to go with. We're not even going to start with equipment. But what's the number one thing a content creator that wants to get started needs to know and understand about themselves first?
Turn the camera on, start recording. Can't be scared. That's all you gotta do. Start. A lot of people just get they don't start out of fear. Fear is the factor that stop a lot of people from just doing whatever they want to do in life. That could be content creation, that could be, doing anything else. But that fear factor scare a lot of people. It used to scare me in the beginning. Fun fact, a lot of people don't know this, but when I first started creating content, I started creating content on Spanish only because I was so embarrassed of my English. Fun fact,
Damn,
I
damn.
will only make videos on Spanish because I was so embarrassed of my English and my accent. And nowadays, some people like tell me, "Oh, I didn't know you speak Spanish." Yeah, that fear factor, you have to let that shit go. Don't let it stop you, because if you let that shit get into you, it will stop you, and you won't achieve anything. So the first thing is
I didn't even
just
know that.
start. No, a lot of people don't know that. There's a lot of stuff that a lot of people don't know from DS. You know,
Bro, that's
that's why I'm
actually
here.
inspiring in
That's
a
why we're
way.
here.
No, that's inspiring. That's inspiring because I think that over here in Canada, you have a lot of people that speak French, right?
Mm.
And you have that can range between the both. And it's like where I work, I deal with a lot of French connection speaking people, and I love the accent. Like when they get on, you're on Zoom with them or something like that. It's actually it's entertaining in a way because they'll say certain things. They know that they're mindful. They're like, does this person understand me? And then you're just like, you make it wholesome. You make it a safe space. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And then if you don't catch the dialect, then you ask for a little bit more clarification. So what I look at that as, it's an opportunity for you now if you wanted to pivot. I don't like using that word pivot, but it's there. If you wanted to pivot and make your content Spanish only, so now you have two separate channels. See what I'm saying?
yeah. Um, Now that I look at it like this, I have two audience I can reach. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to limit myself. But at first, I was not thinking about it like that. It was just like I was so embarrassed to just even make a video. Like I don't know what it was. Well, I know what it was, but it was fear. But once I put that fear to the side, which it took me a lot of time to overcome, it just it was just up from there. Up from there.
And that's one of the methods in the show we talk about overcoming adversity. You know what I mean? You got to
Yeah.
overcome it. My question to you now is, with you being on TikTok and Instagram and YouTube, is there anybody in your city that recognizes you, and how do they treat you when you go out there in the world?
I actually don't go out a lot. Like I'm like 24/7 in my house. And when I tell you I'm 24/7, bro, there's times when I'm like weeks inside of my house. Like I don't go out at all. So I don't really I get people all the time telling me they have seen me, you know, I've seen you in Publix, I've seen you in Walmart, but they have never come up to me yet. One of the negative side of content creation, I will say, I have now social anxiety when I go out sometimes. Like, you never really know people's intention. Especially nowadays on the internet, you can say anything and you won't get punished. You can say whatever you want. You can say whatever you want to say. Nothing's gonna do nothing to you. So you really have to be careful when you go out there, especially with the trolls. So yeah.
There's a reason why I led that like that because it's the truth. It's the truth, especially depending on where you are. As far as in the city, like where I'm at, I'm in a community base of like 400,000, 500,000, up to about 600,000 people, depending. You know what I mean? And you go out to these venues or you go out to the mall. There's a lot of people that show you love, but then you see the ones that are just watching you like this. They'll hawk you in a place and they'll just watch to see what your movements are. And that's good, but then that's also bad because you got to ask yourself a couple questions. Are they looking at you to gather intel, or are they looking at you because they're jealous and envious because they see other people coming up to you and you showing love with, right? And
Absolutely.
I get I get the social anxiety part because it's like at some point in times of life and you're just like shit. You know what I mean? Like, what do I, man? Like, you know what I mean? And sometimes I'm just like, people will bombard you, and I'm not saying this is on some celebration type stuff, but it's like, especially where I worked, I
Mhm.
was like front facing in an actual area. Now I work back from home. I don't ever say the name of the brand because I just doesn't make sense to.
Yeah.
But you see how people like because you give good service, they're like, "Yo, you're amazing. You help this person, you help that person, you help that." And I'm like, "I do appreciate it, guys. You know, it is what it is." But it's like, it's wholesome, and I know it's like people just they love that for you. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
you're impacting lives. You know what I mean? And you can impact a life because of just creating that piece of content where you make that person laugh at that present time because maybe they're going through something of mental health or depression or anxiety or passing of a loved one. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Man, going back to the thing with social anxiety, I just think, man, I just remember when I used to go out and like not feel like that. You know what I'm saying? Like I used to go out, and it was normal. Now it's just I go out and I'm always like, just to make sure like everything is okay, because you never really know people's intention. Like I said, it's just I don't know, man. I don't even know how to describe it, but that's one of the negative sides of content creation. There's a lot of positive and there's a lot of negatives that come with it. So if you're looking to get into creating content, just make sure it comes with a lot of negatives, but also a lot of positives.
And I say this to a lot of people and they don't believe this. Like, even you look at your inner circle. I always speak about that, the inner circle, and I've I've looked at it for the last 2 months. A lot of people have moved differently. Where it's like a chessboard. You know what I mean? I'm moving chess pieces. You can call me the puppet master if you really want to. And something that I game you watch said on one of the episodes that we did, he said is he pays people to expose their hand to him. And I never thought about that in a way. But when it actually you look at it, you see the people around you and you says, does this man or does this woman have the right intention for me? This is not subliminal disses. It's sad that I have to say this. You know what I mean? But a lot of people take it upon themselves to think, oh, if you say something or you say a phrase, oh, it's targeted at me. Oh, this person's targeting me or they're subliminally dissing me. And it's not about that. And people, you can't make everybody happy. Sad reality is what it
Ab-
is.
Absolutely. When I first started, making videos, not first, but when I first started, I guess, getting my name out there, that was another mistake that I made. I was trying to please everybody. And what I mean by that was like I will see like I will read my comment section. I always read my comment sections, by the way. Every content creator does. We see all the messages, we see everything. I will see the comments. I will see this person said this person said that, and I will get like a lot of different comments. Oh, this is good, this is bad, yada yada yada, and I will try to like please everybody like so hard, just until I realize there's no way to please everybody at the same time. So if you are a content creator, do not try to please everybody. Just do what you do. Do what's going to work. What has worked for you, and the best is going to come to you. You put in the work. You show up every day. You do what you got to do consistently. You do what you got to do when you have to do it, and I promise you, things will work out. They will work
It's
out.
true.
A lot of people don't understand how difficult this really is. Like sometimes I would like let's say I will have a bad week with content creation. We all gonna have bad weeks. We all do. I'll see people in the comments talking about, oh, you fell off just because I had a bad week, bro. I fell off. I haven't even been on, bro. What is you talking about? But people don't understand that I have been doing this for now officially King 12 Diaz. Before King 12 Diaz, there was Scoop Gotti. So people don't know that. But King 12 Diaz have been doing this for a year only. Let that sink in. I've been doing this consistently for a year only. And people don't understand all the work that goes behind it. You only see the videos that I post. You don't see the scripting. You don't see the editing. You don't see what goes up in here. Before I make that video even happen, it happened here. You know what I'm saying? It takes it takes a lot of sacrifices, you know, a lot of missed time from family. Um, there's a lot that goes into this. I miss a lot of stuff just so I could put out, a lot of great content. Cause I know at the end of the tunnel, I know the light. The light is there. People don't want to put in the work, but they want to talk. So it don't really bother me. It's just, it is what it is.
You talk about sacrifice, and again, it's the synergy in this conversation. Like, I'll tell people the sacrifices have to start with what is it you wanting to do, right? That can be like in any respective business you want to get into. It doesn't have to be about content creation, but is what sacrifices can you make? You talk about being indoors. There's nothing wrong with that because you gotta like put the pedal to the metal. You gotta chop. You gotta cut. You gotta edit. You gotta dress up the content. Heck, if you live in a city where you can maneuver around, maybe it's selling that car, flipping that car to then get the right pieces of equipment. I know people are gonna say, I'm not selling my car. Why would I do that? Well, sell your car to go get the cameras and the tools that it is you need to maybe get that computer to edit, to run with the RAM and the hard drive space. You know what I mean? Those are the sacrifices you need to make because here's the thing is this, as you succeed, you get it back. People don't get
It's an
that,
investment.
right? It's an investment. Depending on what your age is, maybe living with a roommate is the best way to go where you can split that rent. Or
Absolutely.
maybe living at home is not the bad thing. I know some people go, well, living at home is a bad thing. I'm a grown woman. Maybe you need to make that sacrifice to save that money for you to get that equipment or to position yourself to get that house or to get that condo or to get whatever it is you're wanting to do. There's content creators that I watch right now that were living in abroad, Colombia, stack their money to be able to move to go to Miami. Make that make sense, ladies and gentlemen, because they wanted to get out of that area to now super exceed and get to where it is they need to get to. Those are the sacrifices you need to make. You know what I mean? But not everybody wants to make that sacrifice. There's content creators that I know right now that their audience pays for a lot of what they're doing, pays for that game that they're playing on, pays for that new system that they're getting. You see what I'm saying? Like, I'm giving the sauce maybe a little bit too much here, but I'm just saying, people, to start. Just start.
That comes with the value that you provide to your audience as well. If you give them a lot of value and you get an a loyal audience, trust me, they will love you. If you, like I said, the value you provide, they will pay you back for it. And that's all it is. But with sacrifices, now that you mentioned that living with your parents, that's a good idea. You know, the sacrifices have to be made. Now that I look at it back, I remember when I was living with my parents, I did not take advantage of that at all. And I had enough just to start. I had my PC, I had my computer. I just said PC and computer. What the hell? I had
It's all good.
everything that I needed, but I just didn't take advantage of it. You know, sometimes you need to wake up and evaluate what's going on around you and just take advantage of the opportunity, because if you don't, the next person will. They will take the opportunity. So it is your job to know your surroundings, what's going on, and know how to work with it and navigate with it as well.
Facts. And I'll say this too, like, even with our phones, they've made it so easy now for us to create the content. You know, if you're an iPhone user, I'm only speaking iPhone. You're an iPhone user? Okay, thank you for the love. Okay, thank you.
Don't worry. iPhone all day. Don't worry.
Right? But what people don't understand with the iPhone is that they've made the iPhone so. I used to work for Apple.
Yeah.
They made it so streamlined for you to be able to create. And a lot of your content, all you need to do is get that tripod. Heck, if you live in a warm climate where it's warm enough and you want to shoot outdoor videos, you have all the ability to do that. Use that natural light source, or move your desktop or move your stuff to a natural light source and shoot your content during the day if you need to. You know what I mean? As long as you have a room that you can sit in that has a door, you're good. Work from home, that's a staple. You need to, if you want to work from home, you need to have an area that's quiet, that has good lighting, obviously, so you don't burn your retinas, and then
Absolutely.
simply sit here and to be able to have a door closed so you don't hear the dog barking or the next door neighbor mowing their lawn and things like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's so much ways that you can create, but people don't want to start. And like I said, I understand it's for the content creators, but it's like, if you're wanting to be in whatever line of work, just do it. I'm sick and tired of hearing all these people say, I read this book and I read that book. I read 3 books in a month. But okay, what did you learn in those 3 books? Because they're like, okay, he's talking, he's cooking.
Our
Let him
boy's
just stay in his
cooking.
lane. We can't
Yeah.
leave him alone.
Man, action is
You know?
necessary. You need action. They need to be taken. And now that you say that with the iPhones, another fun fact that a lot of people don't know, bro, all of my videos were edited on my phone. Let that sink in.
Talk about it, man.
I started editing my PC 2 months ago. Before that, I was making a living editing on my iPhone, my UFC videos. Let that sink in, bro. I would take my phone. Literally, I would sit here after I would record and I would stay here for hours like this. So if I could do it with an iPhone, you could do it. CapCut is free. You know what I'm saying? There is
Just give away the
tools.
sauce.
There is
Give
tools
away the
that you
sauce.
could use. They're free. You do not have to pay for it. All you need to do is have the will and the courage to just do it. You know what I'm saying? Do it just like Nike. Just do it.
Facts.
Just do
Facts.
it.
Facts. I love that you say that. Like right now, I got goosebumps because it's like you just gave the ones that are listening here. You want a job? Fuck it. I'm gonna say it right now. They can clip this up, do whatever they want to do. You talk about editing on your phone. Look at the content creators that it is that you like. And here's the sauce I'm gonna give you about editing with your phone. Look at their content, rip their content, because you can, as long as it doesn't have copyright on it, it's not behind a paywall, then you're gonna run into some issues. Even that, you'll be fine. And start editing their videos. Look at clips that you feel that are inspiring enough and chop those clips up, put the captions on it, and send it back to your content creator. That's how you start building yourself some long-term community networking resources. Because if you do that for one, and say you post that on social media, you don't take credit for it, but you give the credit to the creator that are doing it, they might look at you and say, hey, listen, yo, I need an editor. This is where I'm at in my life. What is it you want? You just audition yourself for a job. That's you can
I,
put into your portfolio. But see, I don't know, man. Like, I feel like I don't think people want it. I really don't
they
think they want it.
Another thing, do not take shortcuts. They're not good. When I first started creating content, I had an editor. I was paying somebody to edit my videos. When I first, and I'm telling you, my first 10 videos, they were really good videos, but I was paying and I was not making no type of money. You know what I'm saying? I said, you know what? If I could produce good videos, people will like me. That's how I was thinking, not knowing any good. That don't work. That don't work. Don't do it. Because when I stopped, making those videos, I was like, oh shit, now I need to learn how to edit. I'm deep in the hole. So now I have to start from zero. And, it just don't make sense. Do not take shortcuts. Do whatever you have to do. Learn how to edit. Learn how to do certain stuff. You got a lot of free stuff to do, a lot of free tools. You just got to put in the work.
Just really hone in. You hear what King Diaz said? Hone in, learn it. There's so much resources out there. CapCut is one of the most dangerous editing softwares I've ever seen.
It's a cheat
For
code, man.
free.
For free. It's a cheat code.
Free. Like Final Cut Pro costs $3.99 for Apple, and I've had it for lifetime because I worked at Apple. You have Adobe Premiere Pro, but like, ladies and gentlemen, CapCut is doing your work for you.
And free.
I don't understand why it's free. I don't know why it's free now. Still.
It's kind of crazy if you really think about it. CapCut is free. That it. And another
Like, where are
thing
they
with
making their
CapCut,
money?
that's a good question. I don't even know, bro. Before I learned how to use Photoshop, I also used to make my thumbnails on CapCut.
Man, listen, man.
I'm
Talk about
telling you.
it, bro.
So, so what I would do is, let's say I would take a picture of, let's say, a fighter, Conor McGregor, for a thumbnail, right? I would put the picture and I will start like maybe looking for PNGs, parts, and I would just put everything together. And at the end, I would just throw a filter out there, screenshot, boom, that's a good thumbnail right there. Hold on, let me see. Give me a second.
Do we charge them for this? I feel like we gotta charge them for the pod, bro. I'm sorry,
Man, you know what's crazy, bro? I don't mind giving the sauce away because a lot of people won't take action anyway. So, you know what I'm saying? You give the sauce for free, people don't take action. Then you charge for the sauce, people still complain. You know what? It don't make any sense to me. Hold up, I gotta scroll down because it's been a long time since I did it. But
You're
yeah, man,
doing
I
this
used to
real
do it.
time, and I love that. I love that you're doing this real time, bro.
Give me a second. This right here was from CapCut. Hold on, give it a second.
Wow.
That was from CapCut. Um, CapCut. Give it a second. Look. You can just see the quality. CapCut. Oh yeah, I had no Photoshop before, man. I had to learn from scratch, bro. CapCut. I'm telling you, if you really want to do it, you could get it done. You could get it done.
You know, it's inspiring that you said that because I didn't even know that. I didn't even know you could make the thumbnails. I'm like, what? I never heard that. Just with you talking about CapCut, like, yo, that's inspiring, bro. That's inspiring. Ladies and gentlemen, get on CapCut. Guess what? can use CapCut on your phone. Just
That's
mute the
hey,
notifications. Just mute
I
the
did
notifications.
everything on CapCut. I will edit my videos in there, get my thumbnails in there, and I'm telling you, bro, if you really want it, you could make it happen. So every time I see somebody, like, let's say I will have a friend, and I would I would try to coach them, to do certain things when it comes to content creation, and I see them like trying to make excuses. I'll straight up tell them, bro, you just making excuses. I'm giving you the sauce, and you still making excuses. You know what I'm saying? So same thing with people. You give the sauce, they don't take the sauce. But then they will get mad at you if you pay if you charge them to give them the information. So you give it for free, they don't take it. You charge, they get mad. It comes down to the same thing that I was saying earlier. You can't please everybody at the same time.
So true. So true.
And man, that comes with the process, like it's the little things. The little things you will learn from just doing the same thing over and over and over again. Let me repeat that one more time. The little things you will learn from doing one time, two times, three times until you get it. You know what I'm saying? Um, the things that I do now so well because I have done them 1,000 other times. So when people like tell you it takes one video to change your life, it might sound cliche, but it's really true because you really have to like put out you have to put content out there until something clicks. And when that one thing clicks, just take over from there. Try to evolve that one thing. You know what I'm saying? And now with self-improvement, I think that is really, really key. And a lot of people don't know this, but the one thing that really helped me back in, I will say it's 2024. I would say 2021, in between 2021 and 2022, when I took that break from content creation, I actually took a leap of faith and I said, fuck it. I quit my job. I went into construction for like 3 months because I was trying out a new business. It was a multi-level marketing business. I'm, an MLM. You know those, right? The pyramid
Yeah, yeah.
schemes one. I didn't know that at a time like that. But one thing that I took from that business was the mentality side of it. I used to go every Sunday, and I'm telling you this, every Sunday I will go to a conference where they will tell me the same thing all over again until I started catching on. I was like, yo, what's going on here? And they gave me the sauce on how to be persistent, how to be consistent, and how to put in the work. And I took that from the multi-level marketing business and I applied this on the content creation business. See what I'm saying? So even when there's something bad going on, I see the good and I just take it and put it, wherever I need it.
Because I just, like I said to people, this is the year. This is the year that Rory comes levels above. Remember what I just said? Levels above. But I don't say that in an egotistical way. I say that in a way that I know what it is I want, and I'm going to take this the way I want to do it. I want it all. Every single thing that comes with it. I want it all.
A lot of people don't understand that mindset, you know? Even on our families. I was talking, I'm gonna say it. I was talking to my dad the other day, and what was I telling him about? I was telling him about something that I was working on, and we were just having a good conversation. Now my dad, he believes on what I'm doing. At first, he didn't believe on it 100%. Of course, he will have his questions. Our parents, they come from the era that making money playing video games is kind of crazy to them. If still up to this day, it's 2024, but now he's starting to believe. Hey, so I was talking to him, and I was telling him what I was doing, and he told me, "Oh, make sure you double check your project," something like that. And I was like, I double checked my project already like 4 times, and something within the conversation, he was like, I don't know if I should have said this, but I was like, "Dad, don't worry. I know what I'm doing." I low-key told him, "Hey, I'm him." You know what I'm saying? Hey, I'm him. But he took it like I was being like egotistic and like I was being like arrogant and I had to like let my dad know. No, no, no. I don't mean it on that way. But I cannot allow myself to have self-doubt at all. Not even 1%. You can't let yourself have no. No. Do not let that self-doubt get into you. Rory, you're him. You know what I'm saying? You got to have that mentality. 2024.
I love that you say that. And you know what? A lot of people may say, "Oh, what adversity do I deal with?" It's not necessarily adversity. It's there's always adversity that happens around me. But the thing is, I know what lens to shut off and compartmentalize the rest. And like one of my guys that we voice note all the time, he's like, "Oh, I see it." He's like, "I see what you about to do." And a lot of people don't understand it because what I've decided to do is stay in solitude, right? That solitude means just being focused on the end goal. The ones that need to reach out to me will know how to get a hold of me, and I know how to get a hold of them. That doesn't mean that there's discrepancies as far as we may have beef or there's internal conflict. I know what it is I want. If we're both to be on the same page, we'll meet in the middle. And when we meet in the middle and we have that conversation, it's going to be transformational. It's not going to be transactional, right? A lot of people around us want transactional, right? Relationships are transactional. They're not transformational, right? That's why I said is if you look at the map and the journey, I'm very, very mindful now about who I even want to bring on this platform, be around me now. Because it's not because I don't trust people. I gotta see is where's the transformational magic gonna happen here, right? How are we going to simply sit here and for us to win together? We may do this episode. This could lead us to get into the next level, or I could bring you into a space where your information that you know can actually be able to give to somebody else. You know what I mean? And a lot of people don't look at things like that. And, shout outs to my girls, right? Shout outs to Bespoke Beauty, right? They're here in the city. And I have to give them that shout out because one of the girls said to me, she goes, "Why do you want to work with us?" And I said, "Is because I believe in y'all. And I believe that you guys have a transformational experience here that's going to cornerstone the cosmetic market. Ladies and gentlemen, they're coming. And I truly believe they're about to. They, all I'm saying, I'm scared now. I'm scared because they might take me out of business, even though we don't talk about the same things, but I see what they're doing. And those two ladies, Allie and Lisa, Diaz boy, woo, they coming. They're coming. And it's just always transformational conversations in the group chat. My phone's upstairs. I could leak parts of the group chat. I know they wouldn't mind, but it's just like, yo, you got to put people on. And shout outs to them for what they got going on, man. And that's what it's about. Reaching one to teach one.
Now that you mentioned that, having the right group of people around you, since I started on this journey, my really close friends, I know you have heard this before, are all full-time content creators. One of my really good
Mm-hmm.
friends is I Game You Watch. Bro, we talk on the phone like almost every single day. And when we talk to each other, we will text each other, we will call each other just to make sure everything is okay. Like, yo, I'm just checking in, brother. What's going on? Okay, this and this and that. You need those friends, bro. You really do. People who would elevate you and who are not jealous and envious of you because at the end of the day, we're trying to go to the next level together. You know what I'm saying? And before that, I did not have those people around me, you know? Go ahead.
How
Hmm.
do we become 1% better, my brother? Talk about it.
How do we become 1% better? Man, you have sometimes it's about the small little details, right? And with the small little details comes the things that nobody wants to do. For example, every time I'm editing a video, before I put out the video, it irks me if I don't triple or 4 times. I check my videos like sometimes 4 times. I will pick my videos and see like, okay, even if the subtitles on my video, I do them myself manually. I don't have, how on the editing softwares you have the thing that will do the subtitles for you. The reason why I don't do that is because sometimes the AI would put wrong stuff on the subtitle, and it comes down to doing the work yourself and do not let people or things do the work for you. Yes, I know it takes more time. Yes, it's more draining, but at the end of the day, I know that I did it myself, and with that, it's going to be better. But to answer the question, you have to have small goals. 1% better. With small goals, just have this goal. I'm going to do this today and do it. But not only just do it to the best of your abilities.
Facts. Facts.
You
Where
know?
can everybody check out the TikTok, the social media? It'll be all in the description. But the ones that are listening up to this far, where can everybody check that out?
King 12 Diaz everywhere. YouTube King 12 Diaz, my TikTok King 12 Diaz, everything King 12 Diaz.
Appreciate you, man. We're gonna do this again, and it's going to be in person.
Oh yeah.
It's gonna be in person.
Hey, I have a lot more to say. I have a lot more to
Oh,
tell.
we don't. We all. This was an hour, ladies and gentlemen. An hour we went for. You know.
It went by so fast, man. It went by so quick. I feel like I couldn't even really get to like who King 12 Diaz really is. I couldn't even really tap in.
Part two coming soon.
Absolutely.